Sorry. We're live. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Joshua Paul. I'm the marketing director for SampleServe. I have with us, I got Paul Goodrow, Russell Schindler. These guys both have over 30 years, over 70 years combined in the environmental services industry. And today we're going to go over some tips and tricks on the SampleServe product. And we're going to talk about how we can help you manage and navigate the environmental industry, being more lean, productive, and efficient. So I'm going to give it away to Paul Goodrow right now. Take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Thanks, everybody, for your time. I know it's hectic, and you probably are maybe grabbing a lunch and listening to us, so we certainly appreciate it. I'd like to set a little context for what we're doing, and what the bottom line is, as Josh said, we're here to help you. Our technology, we believe, will allow you to become more efficient, differentiate yourself in the marketplace, and execute work better. So that's what we're here for. We've invited all of our current users to this. If you're not a current user, maybe you saw it on LinkedIn, but the purpose is really to gather a group of users, either current or future, and share with those users some tips and features and functionality that allow them to use the technology better and move their projects forward. So we're going to do this weekly for about 30 minutes. So hopefully, you'll be able to attend the ones that you feel are going to be interesting to you. We're going to share, again, features and functionality. We're also going to share with you some case studies from our clients who are using the tool. And of course, we want questions and answers. So please write questions in the question box, if you will, just so we can address those as we go. Anytime, anything. This is being recorded, so it'll be pushed out on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So share it with a friend. If you found it helpful and valuable, share it with a friend. And we're excited to engage our user groups. Again, this is the first one, and we really want to propel you as a user to advance the technology. The bottom line is, we believe, and I certainly believe, that technology will help employees become more valuable in their organizations. So as you use technology and understand the digital transformation that's occurring in the industry, whatever tools you're using, whether it's SampleServe or something else, the better you use those, the better you leverage those, the more effective and more valuable you'll be in your organization. So again, we're here to help you, and we hope this helps along the way. Anything to add, guys, on kind of what we're trying to accomplish here?
No, I hope it helps people just be able to use our product and our tools to be able to get their job done better, faster, safer. If typical field person says we save them about 20% of their time, and who doesn't want to get their work done 20% faster? I know I do. So,
yeah, I think Russell has a good point. This technology, not like other technologies, is really targeted at the user level, meaning those people that are either scheduling, planning, doing, or reporting routine environmental data. So if you're doing that, this will help. So with that, I'll turn it over to Russell. Russell, at one of our stand-up calls during the week, last week, you'd mentioned that one of our clients has kind of taken our reporting and done some cool stuff with it. So I'll let you tell us what they did with it and how our reporting can be used at maybe a higher level than we even anticipated.
Yeah. So let me know when you got the screen share going, Josh.
Yeah, you're up and ready to go, Russell.
Okay, great. So you can see here on my screen, one of our clients was telling me we whenever we have take on a new enterprise client, we usually set up scheduled meetings, regular meetings. We call them customer discovery meetings. And it's usually with our leadership team. And that's just to kind of make sure that we're on top of any bugs or problems that they may be experiencing. And then also to discuss any features and functionalities that they'd like to see going forward. And so this user was actually telling me about a project that they had where they suspected they had some off-site contamination coming onto their particular project property. And he was like, here's what I did with your software. And so he showed me what he was doing. It was, and I can't show you his exact project just for confidentiality reasons, but what he did is he did an ice chemical contour map, did a groundwater flow map, and then it did a box map on top of that. So here's an example of what that looks like this is a demonstration project. It is a real project, but we have permission to use it as a demonstration. And, so he basically created this map, and it was very clear that he could see the contamination. The hot spot was off to a corner on the upper side of the off-site property. Groundwater flow was flowing towards him. So it just, they say a picture tells 1,000 words, and this definitely did it. So, and then all you have to do is create these maps. You can move these things around. That's the nice thing he also likes about our product is he can do all of this kind of graphic configuration himself. He doesn't need a AutoCAD or GIS person. And then he just hits save all and then generate the report. And it actually creates a PDF graphic of what you're looking at. And then you can stick that into a report that you're going to send to a regulator or maybe the law firm, the lawyers that are handling this finger pointing exercise. And so shortly here, it'll open up a PDF. And you can see this is the PDF. And you can just stick this into a report. The data boxes here, easily customizable. So that's really what this person did. And like I said, we were just having a regular meeting, and he was just so proud of what they were able to do with our software that he just had to show me. He was actually sitting. That's the other thing too. It's a web-based application. He was actually sitting in the waiting room office of his orthodontist. He was taking his kid to the orthodontist and was doing this web meeting and showing me this cool graphic that he had generated right from that office. So that's the case study I wanted to talk about.
So Russell, really the initial use case was that people could generate those maps individually, right? The 3 different maps, ISOCHEM, the groundwater flow, and the box map.
Yeah.
And he found a way to really superimpose those 3, store it for future use, and it'll be automatically updated once he goes out and collects additional samples. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I find the most interesting is, I'm the founder of the company, the main, designer of the software. I don't write the code, but, I express the functionality that we're trying to obtain. And then we get some users out there that really actually use the software way more than I do. And they actually teach me things. So there's things that I find out that they're doing with our software, and I'm like, I didn't even know it could do that. So that was kind of how that got pointed out to us. And he was, like I said, just tickled to death that he was able to figure out how to do this really easily. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. How long do you think it took him to make this?
So I don't think it took him very long at all. I mean, probably 30, 40 minutes. So, obviously the more data you have, the more, things you got to click on and off. But for the most part, once you get it set up, you see this little save all button. You just hit that and it, you can exit, come back in. It'll be exactly the way you want it. And it's an unlimited number of graphics here. You can see here on this particular image, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different types of graphics. And it's unlimited. You can have, 100 if you wanted to, that you can actually create your images on. Unlimited number of graphics. And then each one, whenever you hit the save all button, it saves that particular graphic with the preferences that you've selected for that graphic. So it really does save a lot of time. When you're first setting it up, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but every time after that, it's just a couple of seconds. So
yeah, that's super cool. I think, what we're hearing from our customers is that there are numerous, I don't know about numerous, but there are several graphic programs out there, software programs, digital solutions, but ours seems to be the easiest. Russell said maybe a half an hour for this one. It's probably 30 seconds for each one of these. The difficult part was probably figuring out how to put them together and overlay them.
Yeah.
So our graphic capabilities are easy and simple to use. And I think that's a differentiator in the market.
Yeah. If you've got any experience at all in doing this type of work, And it doesn't even have to be a lot of experience. I can teach people how to do this in about an hour and a half. That's about it. And I mean, for the whole, not just this graphic, but other types of contours. We've got ice chemical contours, all kinds of other graphics that are really easy to do. So I'll just show you. And this is kind of a no frills graphic right now, but we're going to build a xylene isochemical contour map here. You'll see it's being built. It'll open up in just 1 second. So it's just really fast. And there it is. There's your xylene plume. There's some things that I could do to make it look even better, but that's how fast it happens. So, all right. That's
all right. Good.
We're going to do some other things here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, Josh, you have some tips?
Yeah, let's get straight into the tips. We got a lot of people, the beginning point of every project is really getting your data onto the project management tool, because you can't really make any maps, graphs, or plan any events unless you have some data in your project. So what I'm going to demonstrate is we just initiated a new tool called it's our Easy Data Importer. So I'm going to show you guys how to pretty much take a laboratory EDD, that simple one, generic one that most of you have gotten or seen from a laboratory. We're going to upload it and see how easy it is and see what we can do afterwards. So here I created just a blank project here. There's nothing uploaded, no maps, no samples, nothing. This is what you would see when you create a new project. I'm going to head over to data. We're going to go to groundwater lab data, and I'm going to click data importer. Now this is going to be the file that I'm importing. This is just a typical lab EDD that we have in a CSV format. So I'm going to grab my file explorer here. There we go. And we're going to hit data importer. I'm going to drag and drop this. Now this system is going to look for the column headers here, and it already did, so I can pick one if it's off. But it's already on the correct column headers. We hit continue. Now what it's going to do, it's going to match the column headers to the format that we use. So if your format is completely different, this software is going to use AI to guess which columns would match our format. And then you can manually add these columns too. So if you hover over these, it'll show you on the right the rows, all the data that's in each row. So you can get a good guess of what's in there. And now what it has already done is it's guessed and matched our format to the format that I uploaded. And it's connected accurately pretty much every column so far. And it'll usually do this. If it's anything close to what our name is, it'll guess correctly. So I don't see any problems with this one. Detection limit. Yeah, so it's guessed all accurately. And if something's not in here, it'll be at the bottom. So let's bring it back down. Let's exclude this. So you may have some columns that end up down here that it has yet to include and connect to our format. All you do is you just click it, it'll bring it up, and you click this drop down and you find what to connect it with. So this is reporting detection limit. It's already on detection limit, so that's accurate. So it's pretty easy to upload a CSV from whatever format you have to ours. We're going to hit continue. So what it's doing is it's turning your CSV file into the format that we're using. You can review and finalize. These are going to show up red because we have yet to have any of these tests or these wells. And on this file as well, I want to show you, we also have soil boring locations. So it's going to put all the soil media in its own soil area type. What's that? Sorry.
I think your internet connection is a little slow. So.
Oh, am I breaking up on you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Can you see this right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So everything's correct on here. So we're going to save and finalize. If you see any errors or anything, you can hit back to matching. So save and finalize. It's going to upload this new file, and your old file is going to be here under original file. You can click that and download it anytime. You can click our new formatted file here. So now under our site info, we'll see it's added all the well locations as well as all the boring locations. Now you can go in here and you can see that it uploaded the GPS information that we also had in there that we the field app to collect. Go ahead, Russell.
Russell, I can hear him just fine, so I'm not sure if it's his or yours.
So you can upload a if you, yeah. Oh, you can hear him fine. He's not breaking up on you.
Yeah, I think it's on your end, Russell.
Okay,
it's okay.
The
All right,
point I want to make, Josh, is that you can actually. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, the point I want to make is that you can upload a mixed file. If you've got soil and groundwater and soil vapor, you can upload them all at the same time in one drag and drop. They can be separate as well, but you can do it all at one time.
It'll find out what your media is, and it'll put the soil with the soil and groundwater with the groundwater. Now that we have data imported, now we can do some stuff. I mean, you can go straight to box maps, but here's the thing. We don't have a map uploaded yet. But because there's GPS data inside the data that we uploaded, we can go to new sitemap here under site info. I'm going to give this test map name, and I'm going to click this check mark here, use satellite image. So it's going to use the GPS coordinates to create a sitemap for us. There we go. I'm going to click on it afterwards, and you see here, it's added the sample locations on top of the map using the GPS coordinates. Now that we have the sitemap, we can go back into reports. We can select that sitemap. We can select the date or analytical results. We'll turn all our tests on. We'll turn a criteria on. Turn all of our wells on. And then now we just got to finagle with the box sizes because the boxes are going to be either a little too big for the map or a little smaller for the map. I'm going to go down to 50%. I'm going to move these around so we can see them all visibly and where they connect to. So just like that, in a few minutes, I went from having no data in my project to having working box maps.
It was 4 minutes, Josh.
Was it 4 minutes?
Yeah, but that's loading file. And
well, if I wasn't explaining it, it would have been 3.
That's right. Exactly. No, I think one of the things here, and I know Russell, you just wrote a post in LinkedIn, but it's about consistency of terminology. You know, the beauty, the really genius in this, and I'm sure Mike is the one who did this, our programmer, but you know, the beauty is that it can accept different nomenclature and put it in a standard nomenclature, which moving forward is going to be super helpful, you know, in your project. And so it's really very easy. Great. Josh, we have any questions?
No questions yet. We're going to cover some open conversations at the end.
All right, let's keep rolling then, man. Let's keep rolling. What else you got?
Well, the next one we kind of wanted to cover. Russell, you can cover this if you'd like. I was going to cover about flow contour maps, and then but before that, we're going to cover an easy one, which is sorting sample locations on the field app. So let me open up the field app here. This is I can open up the field app version on my Mac because it runs off the same processor. You can't do this on a PC, unfortunately. You need a tablet. But when you're on any kind of project here, all you got to do is here. I'm going to open up this demo site that I opened up for tomorrow, scheduled for tomorrow. This has 78 sample sites on it. Now that's going to be a lot to sort and organize. The best way to do it for Russell, you can explain this too. You're the geologist. You want to for what's the word for
QA/QC?
QA/QC
for quality control. You want to sample from clean to dirty, so it'll automatically look back at the last time that particular location was sampled, total up all the contamination. Is like, you know, it doesn't discriminate which is worse or better. Just the total amount of contamination, all your BTEX, lead, whatever, gives you a total parts per billion of everything. And then it's going to sort them from clean to dirty. You can also re-click that button up there and go from A to Z or alphanumerically as well.
So all these total contaminations
you'll see that
nothing. We're gonna scroll all the way down to these wells down here, and you can see that that's where the contamination shows up. So these are going to be sample
MW11 is the
paths.
hottest well at that site.
Yeah. So you would want to start from the top to the bottom, as opposed
Correct.
to sorting it here A to Z. It's going to mix them up. You know, you're going to be hitting some hot wells in between the clean ones.
Yeah, MW11 is the hottest one there. And it would be towards the top of the list because there's like, I don't know, 40, 50 wells there. So
Right.
Clean to dirty is the way to go. And it's the default sorting order as well.
Yeah, that's great. You know, the other thing, I know, Josh, this wasn't one of your tips, but you can see these locations are mapped on a satellite image. So, you know, finding these sample locations sometimes can be difficult. They might be in forests or overgrown or covered with snow, or, you know, really not obvious, may not have a stick up, maybe they're at grade. So, you know, finding wells with this is super easy. So
yeah.
Now, if I'm obviously not on site, but if I were to be on site, I'd be a little blue dot somewhere on this map, so I could easily find
And to
myself.
get to your location, you just hit that little target on the bottom right-hand side there.
Yeah.
Just above the plus minus. That'll show you where you're at, and then relative to the sample locations.
Yeah. I'm not going to hit it now because you know, that's my
700 miles away. Yeah.
you don't want to tell everybody where you live, Josh? We could get pizza delivered at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Good. You want to hit the last one, Josh?
Yeah, we can talk about the last one here. So the next one, let me go show the slide real quick, Russell, while you're setting it up.
Okay.
So we just wanted to talk about managing data when creating flow contours. Sometimes there'll be a well that, you know, the numbers will throw off a good flow contour because it's, you know, it could be in the middle and could be just a little bit higher than everything else. So, but Russell's going to show you how to turn off data when creating these maps. So let's go to his.
Can you see my screen?
I can see you.
Okay. So over here are all the dates that we have sampling done, and you can see I've selected April 26, 2019. I can turn that off and select a different date as well. And then what populates over here is the calculated groundwater elevation, right? We know the top of casing, and on this day, we know the depth of water for these locations, and it calculates the groundwater elevation. So you can see these numbers here. There's actually a river, there's a real site. There's a river over there flowing to the northwest. So, you know, this is where the gas station is over here. So all I have to do is look at these numbers. And if I think I see some bad data here, I can actually just hit the check box and turn different wells off. So I don't have to use a particular set of data. I can't change it. I can also add as many flow lines. So I'm just going to make this be like 10 flow lines or 10 contours. And then the light blue flow direction lines, I can turn them off or on them and leave it on. And then I just hit generate report, and it's going to go out there, and it uses a mix of Krieging and nearest neighbor, kind of a hybrid formula for calculating groundwater flow. I'm just pulling it up right now so you can see that the groundwater is flowing towards the river, and then it curves kind of down towards the downstream, which is totally what you would expect. And then if I want to add those data points back in, I can turn them back on. I don't know that this will have much of an effect, but I can also turn some of these off, you know, which will get rid of some of that curve if I don't like that curve in there. And so you'll see now it'll have a slightly different effect on the flow. So, you know, that's how you kind of adjust your flow. It's going to pull up a different one here. And so there you can see it's changed the flow a little bit because I turned some on and turned some off. So that's kind of how you do groundwater flow. And if I don't like these light blue lines, I can turn them off. And if I want more contours, maybe I've got a really flat water table and I want to show more just to kind of show the flow, or I want less contours, I can turn those off or put the number of contours in there that I want. So it is customizable.
The other application, right, Russell, is you may have an anomaly. You may have a sample error or a top of casing measurement that's wrong or something like that. So
correct.
You can take that. The other thing is maybe your wells are not completing the same, you know, aquifer system. So You may have a deeper well in there and it doesn't make any sense, or a shallower well. So
Yep.
I think it's very versatile, not just to make your map look better, but also to decipher the real data points you need to characterize a hydrologic system. So I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see here, I actually have a deep well map. So these are the deep wells here. This does have several cluster wells with A, B, and C wells, and so you can actually set up a separate map, and then just do groundwater contours on those maps.
Yeah. Great.
So
okay, guys, let's again. This is for you as the user. I know we're going super fast, but if you need any other support, we will certainly help you. And our goal, again, just to reiterate, it's really to get you started, help you be effective and efficient with this tool, and be a better be able to bring better data and analyses to your customer or client. So
yeah. One of the goals for this is we want our users to open up their imagination to all the things that they can do with our applications, because a lot of people they get stuck in their old ways and they think that's the only way it's possible. So with technology, it's really, if you think about anything, we can build it, and anything's possible. And one of the biggest things that we've seen with new users, and I really want to emphasize this, is that the beginning stages of getting set up in a new project management tool like what we have or anything like that, it takes just a short amount of time to get it going. But once you're rolling with it, the time savings just multiply as you get better and faster with it.
Yeah. Yep.
So Josh, you have a couple of questions. You want to answer them, or are those ones for you to answer?
This is just open discussion, Paul. What do you think? A lot of questions that we get from a lot of our new clients is, how do I charge my clients for this? Because we're saving them so much time. And if they're on like a time and materials billing hour, it's kind of hard to, Russell has said before, he's been asked, how do I charge for 5 minutes?
Yeah. So, my answer to that is I first ran into SampleServe as a technology 3.5-4 years ago when I was developing a proposal for a major oil company. And it was a long-term fixed price contract, 7 years for 250 sites throughout the US. And this technology was perfect because every nickel I saved, it either made me more competitive or dropped more money to the bottom line. So look at this as really twofold. One, it should and will make you more competitive, meaning pricing. And then secondly, it will increase your profitability or margins based on the time that you're saving. So my answer to that is, charge the client whatever you want and however you want. Incorporate it in a solution that differentiates you in the marketplace. Win bigger work and bigger projects, and you'll make more money.
I like that. Russell, anything?
Oh, just, if you do have any trouble, there's a little smiley face on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. I monitor that 24/7. Other people monitor it during the day and everything. I can't guarantee if you do it at 3 in the morning, I'm going to be real quick to get back to you, but I will get back to you. And sometimes at 3 in the morning. But so the customer support, I think, is, top notch. We do get a lot of comments on how responsive we are and thorough we are. We don't leave you hanging. If you got a question or you got trouble with something, just let us know and we'll get right on it. So I will say that's one of our highlights, our high points, is that we're really good at troubleshooting and making sure that people get their work done. Because I know I've been in the field. If you're out in the field and you're stuck on something, you don't want to wait too long for somebody to get back to you. So,
and to finish it off, a lot of our, some of our biggest clients we have weekly meetings with, or bi-weekly meetings with, just to kind of see how they're doing in the field and see what they're liking, especially like with what a client just showed us before with those combo maps. What's the big thing in the future, Russell, that you're most excited about?
So I guess we're going to be working on some AI where we can actually just look at the data and write a narrative on what's going on. So we'll literally, the only thing we don't do right now is write the executive summary and the report, but we're working on that. And then making the combo maps a lot easier. We can just layer things really quickly and then just kind of play with things. And so that's probably the next thing down the road.
The other thing, Russell,
better forms as well.
The other thing you mentioned today was our partnership with In Situ and our ability. Once you get into the system, you'll see this, but as you set up a project, it'll generate the equipment list and reimbursable lists that you need to conduct the sampling. And In Situ and we are working on an instant order functionality. Basically means once you create your materials list, you can order it directly from In Situ. If you need meters, tubing, gloves, etc., you can get that done through one click. So that's an exciting potential enhancement. And
our mobile app will be in a few months. I'll be able to connect directly to the In Situ meters, the AT600 and AT500, so that you can pull data directly into the low flow calculation, so you don't have to type them in. So that's going to save a ton of effort in that regard. So pretty excited about that. As a guy who's typed in a lot of data, having it just flow in there automatically is going to be a big time saver.
Eventually, you'll just be able to just dip the tablet down the well and pull it out.
Maybe.
You're going to need bigger wells, I think.
Maybe.
So, Josh, bring us home. Let's close this up. The time's valuable.
We're doing this every week from now on. So make sure you share this with a friend, especially if you know somebody else in the industry that isn't using this, and this could help them. And this video is going to be available. Same link, any comments, comment on this video, after it's done going live, and we'll get back to it, answer questions. What we want to do is we want to keep the conversation going with our users and new users. And we want people to share their ideas, what they like and what they want to see, and what they think the future is going to look like, especially with digital tools in the environmental services industry. So thank you guys for joining us. I think we're going to head out from there and stop it. And thanks, everybody. Have a good week.